coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the San Francisco 49ers. With that, let's get you out to Silicon Valley, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, as we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the host to Super Bowl 50 back in February of 2016, there's a look at the home of the 49ers, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room, and we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Miami Dolphins. Brandon Godden and Charles Davis with you from our broadcast perch. And, Charles, as we get this thing started, what are you going to be keeping your eye on?
Special teams. Field position is always a big determiner in a ball game. Who sets their offense up for success the best, that team will win the game.
Robbie Gould's got it on the tee. He kicks it off, and here we go from Levi's Stadium. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. Leading him out is going to be their quarterback. That's the grizzled vet, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
One thing that I think Ryan Fitzpatrick doesn't get enough credit for is his toughness. This is a guy who plays through injuries, but it's also being mentally tough, knowing that everyone's always trying to move him out of the lineup, trying to find a replacement for him, yet he continues to battle and has earned the total respect of his teammates.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Throwing again. Fitzpatrick. He's got it. The tight end, Allen. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
They try and run on first down, but this one's going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. On 2nd and 12, Fitzpatrick. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Here we go. 43. Check, 43. Hey.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. 20. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. Well, one of the big questions in the lead-up to Super Bowl 54, the health of Tevin Coleman. We saw him go down fairly early in that NFC Championship game against Green Bay, and you thought, oh, boy, that doesn't look good. Separated shoulder, pop back into place, and he wants to give it a go.
And you understand that. I mean, the chance to get to the Super Bowl and play. He's been there once before, but that was with Atlanta, and that was a 28-3 game, that lead that they gave up against New England. He wants to try and get a ring himself, so if at all possible, he will give it a go. Fortunately for San Francisco, he's part of a 3-man rotation at tailback that includes Matt Breida, who's a backup, and Raheem Mostert, who has just blazed through the playoffs.
You mentioned that game against New England. Of course, Kyle Shanahan was also with Atlanta. And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. Christian Wilkins able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Gold with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Miami's offense takes the field again. You think about their 2019 season. It might be the rare overachieving 5-11 label that you give them. You know, you look at it, everybody...
How do you overachieve at 5-11?
Because look at that. Down he goes. The 49ers get there. Getting the sack, the 227-pound linebacker, Quan Alexander.
Yeah, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Another try after the first down sack. Fitzpatrick. And down he'll go at the 25.
Right there, 54, right there, 54.
On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Taylor now returning it. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. I want to get your thoughts on something here as San Francisco starts this next drive. You know, we talked about the lack of pass attempts for Jimmy G in the postseason so far. But they were number 2 in the rushing attack in the league, only behind Baltimore and Lamar Jackson. So you think KC's defense, that they'll stack the box, force the Niners to throw?
I think they have to, because you just get shredded in the run game. It destroys you in the psyche as well as it does out on the field. So you've got to try and take that part away from them, force Garoppolo to throw, and then on key 3rd down situations, make sure you double tight end George Kittle, because he's the game breaker for them. Although the rookie wide receiver Deebo Samuel has really come on as of late.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
12.
Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. He's going to fire one, and this will be caught at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, that's how you convert on 3rd down with an explosive gain of 34.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. Tackle made there by Kiko Alonso.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Well, the 2nd down throw on target. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
21.
On 1st down, Garoppolo. That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now a draw play with Drake. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Fitzpatrick now. Incomplete. This is Albert Wilson. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. To return is Taylor. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. George Kittle and the Niners ready for their next drive. And what can they do to better account for him? Because they haven't accounted for him well so far as we see here on your screen.
They may have to draw up coverages they haven't run so far. They have to create something on the fly because he's beaten everything. And when you watch this game unfold, you keep thinking to yourself, is it 2 men, 3 men, maybe even a 4th guy may have to go and account for him. But right now, he's shredding the defense.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Xavier Howard with a good coverage that time as he was there and knocked it away. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Gold with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. So that drive, 4 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. So there on that play offensively, they were in the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that? It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play. Now on 2nd and 13, Fitzpatrick, and his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Fitzpatrick, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Powerful running. 21-0 our score after 1. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. He's at the 40, the 20, 10. Touchdown, 49ers. Tevin Coleman, 88 yards. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
And now this is right in Kyle Shanahan's wheelhouse. He'll go for 2 here. Garoppolo looks to throw. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky there. It worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now let's talk about Kenyon Drake. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. On second down, it's Drake. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is taken around the 12. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And out will come the offense as they take over. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Trent Taylor, the one he was looking for, and that'll bring up second down. Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Tevin Coleman with his second touchdown here in this first half, as his guys continue to pour it on. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And this is going to be caught. Well, not sure about the need to go for 2, but they get it and extend this lead out even further. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts, passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On second down now, it's Drake. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Dolphins on 3rd down, not good, 0 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. Forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one down for a really good strike.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 19.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
On first down, Drake. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sack back at the 29. Well timed there by Richard Sherman. A sack on the corner blitz.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
So now after the sack, 3rd and long, and Fitzpatrick and company a little work to do. Off the play fake here, Fitzpatrick. It's complete to Graham. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. 2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer, and likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. D. Ford, he's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down.
And that's the kind of stand all defenses are seeking. 3rd and goal, backs against the wall, and they get a monster sack, and now they're going to force them into a field goal. For them, that's a win.
Sanders' kick is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Here we go. Check.
On play action, now Garoppolo. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 25 yards that time. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Garoppolo gets this into the hands of Taylor. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 for the Niners there and a first down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Garoppolo now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to George Kittle, his tight end, and that'll bring up second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. This is caught. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Touchdown pass number 4 of the afternoon for Jimmy Garoppolo as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
And now this is right in Kyle Shanahan's wheelhouse. He'll go for 2 here.
6-6, pull it up, man.
Play action. Garoppolo. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The third time wasn't a charm. They got the first 2 two-point tries. Still have the lead, but couldn't get the third.
Okay, so they didn't get this one, but I have to ask you, what matchup are they seeing that they feel that confident to go for 2 so often?
Yeah, and we talk about this a lot, but it has to be something, you're right, that they saw all week, correct?
Definitely game plan for it. Felt good about being aggressive and going for it. And right up until that one, they got 2 for 2.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Well, partner, let's talk Super Bowl. We have to. Before the year, by the way, we made predictions for the Super Bowl. You got one of the teams right. You had Kansas City and New Orleans, but you had the Saints winning. I also had the Saints there, but losing to New England. Well, now we get a chance to rectify things. So who's going to win the big game, partner?
Well, I think so.
Now Fitzpatrick hit. It's out. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Now goal for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But There's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
To throw again on second down. Fitzpatrick. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On third down, Fitzpatrick. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. He's going to field this at the 4. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
A good pickup there, 22. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So we've reached halftime here in what is quick. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here.
Don't let them breathe. Play that tight D. Don't let them breathe, defense.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. No. Check that. We want Mike 50.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards there and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
He can't hang. He's not going to get...
Two.
Watch it.
On play action, it's Garoppolo. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Looking for Pettis, but that's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick, and he will bring this all the way up to the 30-yard line. First possession in the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Charles, you and I have made our predictions for Super Bowl 54. Well, coming soon, the official Madden NFL 20 Super Bowl prediction. Something Madden folks do every year is predict how they think the big game is going to play out. And that prediction, with the help, by the way, from Peyton and Eli Manning, is going to be revealed on Thursday, January 30th, 9 Eastern. Go to EA.com/theprediction to check it out. And keep playing Madden to feed the machine and tell us who you think will win as well. Again, it's EA.com/theprediction. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. They go play action. Fitzpatrick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. D. Ford, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. To throw, Fitzpatrick. And the pressure gets to him again. D. Ford, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. This will be fielded at the 17. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
It's a party now.
They'll run with Coleman on first down. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 2nd and 7, Garoppolo completes it to the tight end, Kittle. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
21.
They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Here we go.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 49-yard line. They run it with McKinnon. Bobby McCain here, the one who brings him down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Charles Harris in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. That last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. 31 yards on the punt there, and it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. On 2nd and 11 now. Fitzpatrick. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. Really solid effort for him right now. 3rd quarter, already 4 touchdown passes. How many can he get here?
That remains to be seen, but I know one thing. You and I will be here to watch, and I'm not going anywhere. With what he's doing in this contest, I'm not missing a minute of it. This guy's been spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team game, but sometimes these individual performances are fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes they just kind of come to the front, despite the fact, as you said, we know it's all about the team. But the way he's playing, he's trying to make his team win on his back.
Yeah, it's been exciting. Garoppolo, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. He's going to fire one deep, into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. His defense figured out something in the locker room. That's 2 third-quarter picks now.
And you just wonder, did he get too comfortable in the locker room himself? His team has the lead. Take care of the football. He's putting him in jeopardy right now.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. A quick sidestep here, CD. The NFL doing something kind of neat for its 100th season, which wraps up with Super Bowl 54. They're inducting a 20-man class, a centennial class, into the Pro Football Hall of Fame this year. Now, a number of modern-day candidates won't be announced until the night before the Super Bowl, but 15 have already been announced, and it's a pretty good list so far. Guys like Harold Carmichael, Bobby Dillon, Alex Karras, Donnie Shell, Duke Slater, a number of others in there as well, CD.
Yeah, you're right about that, and what this does is they hope it helps ease the backlog of some of the great candidates that are out there. You know, Max Speedy and Ed Sprinkle, people may have forgotten about, but they were tremendous during their time frame. And we did get to see, if you're watching television, coaches Bill Cowher and Jimmy Johnson receive their invitation to Canton from the president of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And we saw those announcements live. It was so much fun, wasn't it? And the emotion that came through. And let's not forget Executive George Young, who built the New York Giants back in the day with Bill Parcells and crew to win Super Bowls. And former Commissioner Paul Tagliabue, he presided over the big growth of the league. And contributor Steve Sable of NFL Films, who should have been in a long time ago. Without NFL Films, I don't think we have the number of fans watching the game today.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. This is taken at the 15.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Kiko Alonso able to get him for a loss of about 3. That last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. Man open, it's Goodwin. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And this is caught, but they say out of bounds. That would have been a first down, but he couldn't stay in, and as a result, they're going to have to give up the football. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Solomon Thomas, they love to see that from him as he slips in for the sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Fitzpatrick. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. To throw is Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Set to take over again here on offense, Jimmy G and the 49ers. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing him all sorts of trouble.
They begin the drive with Coleman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 6. Garoppolo looks to throw. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 27-yard line. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter.
Here we go. What do you need? Lock, lock, lock.
On 2nd and a couple. Garoppolo looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin, and it's 3rd and short. The Niners on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Garoppolo. And he will find his receiver, Pettis, for a 49ers touchdown. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit. But going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's Fitzpatrick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. D Ford in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Fitzpatrick. And he finds Parker here, complete. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. 49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. Fitzpatrick now. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
General West. Go ahead.
On 1st down, Coleman. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan. Second down, McKinnon. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kiko Alonso able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. And hear the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed. It's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Hey, check Mike 54. Mike 50.
On first and 10, Fitzpatrick. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Running, it's Drake. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. An extra DB for the 49ers now on third. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. Fitzpatrick to throw for it on 4th down. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The 49ers get the win here at home as we say so long from Santa Clara.